Hey guys, welcome to Top 1%. So in today's video, I'm picking a very interesting topic, that is the truth behind movie star transformations. I'm sure a lot of you must have wondered, how do movie actors go from looking average to decent to turning into Greek gods, making these insane transformations that almost seem unrealistic. And a lot of times, these transformations are in very short spans of time. How is it possible when normal people like me and you, we are working out there for months and years together, putting all that hard work, but the results are nowhere near as impressive as this? You need to understand there's a lot of factors to consider. The first and foremost thing is, when you're preparing for a movie transformation, when you're looking to present yourself as a character on screen, the entire world is going to be having their eyes on you. There's big money involved. There's producers investing millions of dollars into this particular role. So it's important that the actor actually presents themselves in the best possible way that they can. So needless to say, they'll take every opportunity, every chance, every trick up their sleeve to make it possible, to make the most impressive transformation that they possibly can. And a lot of times this involves CGI, Photoshop, stuff like that. I mean, take a look at this. Chris Evans in his transformation for Captain America, right? He looked amazing. And in this scene, he almost looks like this skinny, lanky dude with no muscle whatsoever. He doesn't look like that in reality. But if they can make somebody look that bad, they can also make someone look that good. So that is possible in the world of cinematics. That's one thing you need to understand. With the magic of cinema and editing and the technology we have today, you can enhance someone's looks to make them look a lot more impressive. Now let me explain what makes Chris Evans look particularly impressive in this very scene. It's the lighting and angles. If you observe, the light is falling down on him rather than straight on his body, which makes it look like his muscles are bigger, more rounder, and he has better definition. Whereas if the light is falling straight on you, you don't see that definition. And the second thing is his skin is all glossed up, looking shiny and good. That's another thing. And obviously he pumped up backstage before doing this scene, which makes his muscles look significantly rounder and bigger than they actually are. That's another thing. And also, just like bodybuilders do before their competition, Chris Evans probably carved up for this role. To make you understand how much of a difference pumping up and carving up can make, take a look at these two pictures. These two pictures were taken just 16 days apart from each other, and yet the difference is day and night. The reason being, I pumped up on the picture on my left side, and on the right side I didn't. I carved up on the picture on my left side, and on the right side I didn't. I'll make a video explaining about that in detail in the future. That's outside the scope of this video, but anyways, this is what actors and bodybuilders do to peak for a role. Even something as simple as the proper angles and proper lighting can make a day and night difference in how a physique looks. Take a look at these two physiques. It's the exact same person at the exact same point of time. The only difference is the lighting and the angles. Proper lighting and angles can make a hell of a difference at how good you look or how bad you look. So that's one thing you need to consider. That's the first point, right? Presenting yourself the right way. And yeah, that's just the finishing touches. That's the superficial part of the transformation, you could say. But what goes into making this transformation? That's what you want to know. So here's what it is. Regardless of what you do, you need to be dedicated to your diet, your training program. You need to have a plan and you need to execute it. It takes hard work, it takes dedication. There is no denying it. That's a fact. But there may also be some shortcuts involved, such as steroids. Yeah, it's a reality. I mean, think about it. These actors, they have a lot of money involved into these transformations. And they obviously have the resources to get the proper quality stuff. They have doctors guiding them to do stuff the right way or to avoid any sort of risk, right? And they have their own personal chef, their trainers, their coaches, physiotherapists, whatnot. They have an entire team backing them up. So it's different than a normal person taking the risk to doing this compared to these people who have experts guiding them. So that is a possibility. I'm not saying everybody does that, but it is a pretty high possibility. And in the future, I'm going to make a series where I talk about what transformations are natural and what are on steroids. Yeah, I'm going to start that. It's going to be very interesting. And recently I wrote an article where I explained how you identify whether someone is on steroids or natural, and who is on steroids, who's natural, and all that detailed stuff. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, please do check out the link in description. My Quora article, check it out. It's packed with information. I'm sure you're going to love it. Take a look at this to understand how much muscle you can pack on naturally over years and years of training. As you can see, most of your muscle gains come within the first 4 years of your training, and each subsequent year after that, you're scratching and clawing to get even a little bit of muscle. That's the truth behind natural transformations. If you're on steroids, however, the equation completely changes. And now I'm going to give you some examples to show you what is possible naturally and what is not possible naturally, as in some actors who are on steroids and who are natural. Let's take a look at these examples right away. The first example I want to take here is of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. First of all, I'm a huge fan of The Rock. Regardless of what he does, whether he takes steroids or not, I admire him, I respect him, I love his work. So anyways, take a look at him at the age of 50. His recent picture. This is how he looks. Absolutely jacked, so much muscle, he's shredded, he looks better than ever before. And this is how he looked in his 20s. At the peak of his athletic performance, when he was actually a professional athlete, he had to present himself in front of millions of people to look a certain way. Does it make sense? He is not natural here. Why? Because at the peak of his athletic performance, when he's in his 20s, that's when his hormones are at the best. That's when he can build the most amount of muscle, not just maintain it, build it, and also perform the best. When he's 50, when his hormones are declining, his human growth hormone, his testosterone, all of that is going down, it's not possible for somebody who's been training for decades and decades to get better and better and better as you age. At least not into your 40s and 50s. That's not something that happens naturally. That's a no-brainer. That's the first example. And the second example I want to take is of Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth. Take a look at his picture over here. He looks decent, he looks good, seems to have decent genetics, but he goes from this to this for his Thor transformation. That is very, very impressive. And do you know how much muscle he put on from going from this to this? And he didn't even take much time to do that. That's very unrealistic when you put on that kind of muscle in such a short period of time. And that's not it. You think Thor was impressive? Take a look at him preparing for his Hulk Hogan movie, his latest upcoming movie. He's going to get much more bigger than what he looks in Thor. How do you think that is possible without taking steroids? He's still young compared to The Rock or some of those older people, but that doesn't mean you have unlimited potential to put on muscle. Alright, so those are examples for somebody that's not natural, that use steroids for their transformation. Now let me tell you about somebody that was natural for their transformation. And I don't know them personally, so I can't guarantee you that they are natural, right? But chances are they are. And there's a reason I'm saying it, because this is my educated opinion. I'm saying this for a reason. And I'll also prove it to you why I'm saying so. So the first example is Bahij Kadora. This guy is a natural bodybuilder. He's pretty famous on social media. And the reason I say he's natural is because this guy has freak genetics. This is him at the age of 15. Yeah, let that sink in. Most people are not even going to look that good after training for an entire lifetime. He has such elite level genetics that he was already looking that good at 15. And then from 15 to close to 30, this is how he progressed. This is how he made his transformation. Year after year, he constantly put on muscle mass. He constantly got better and better. Never did his physique immediately drop and then go up and then go down and then go up. That's a true sign of a natural, right? If you're taking steroids, you might have ups and downs in your physique. That's something that's very common with these movie stars. So that's a pretty good indicator. That's one thing you need to keep in your mind, okay? And yeah, I can't stress enough how good this guy's genetics are. He is a top level athlete. He's been athletic his entire life. He's been competing and he's been getting better. That's all there is to say. And the second example I want to give is Greg Doucette. He's another fitness YouTuber. He's an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Now hold on. For those of you that know who he is, you might be screaming at this camera now like, he is not natural, he is on steroids. Of course he is not natural, but I'm talking about him back before, when he was natural, before he turned over to the dark side, when he started taking steroids. This is him as a natural. This. How many people would guess that he was natural looking at this? Not many. I mean, he's been training very hard for decades together, right? And he has very good genetics. That's the reason he looks like this. And why am I saying with so much confidence that he is natural? He went from looking like this to this to becoming an IFBB pro. Do you see the amount of difference in the muscle mass that he put on from this to this? There's a reason for that, because he was natural over here. Even if you do take steroids, you don't go from this to this. if you're already taking steroids before. It's not some sort of magic. I mean, yeah, it is in a way, but there's limitations on it, right? You don't just blow up overnight. You still need to put in the time, effort, and work. So that's something you need to understand, okay? There is a limit on how much muscle mass a person can put on. Your genetics matter. How many years you've been training for, that matters. What is your age? That matters. Does your physique fluctuate from time to time? Like you go on from looking like a Greek god, having so much muscle, to looking like an average person, and then back and forth. All of that matters. Your genetic response to steroids matters. Some people don't respond to it well at all. Like most people that take steroids, they look like poop. They don't look good. They might even look worse than me. And I'm just somebody that's been training for 5 years, that's natural, that has average genetics. So you need to understand that, okay? There's a lot that goes into making a transformation. But one thing's for sure, if you keep these factors in mind, learn more and more about this topic, your guesses are going to be getting better and better. And that's all I have to say in this video. It's going to get dragged on too long if I keep talking about more and more examples, getting into the details of it. So I'll stop it right here. I'll be making more videos on each individual, talking about the transformation for a movie, whether it's natural or not, breaking it down separately in each video in detail. So that's going to be coming up soon. And that's it for this video. Please do read that article I talked about. It's down in description. A lot of quality information packed in there. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below what content you want me to cover in the future, hit the bell icon, subscribe button, and until next time, take care, stay natural, and stay hungry.